Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jack and later still like Jackson, and I'm in my little galley kitchen again. But again, it worked. It got cooler after we did the last soup, so let's do another one. Again, shout out to my friend Basil, who does a lot of soups and stuff. I didn't get this recipe from them, but they just kind of reminded me of it because it's got so much basil in it. So, before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y stuff. Ring the notification bell over in that corner when you get them. As close to Tuesdays and Fridays as possible. Sorry if we've been running late. I kind of had a car wreck the other day, and there's people have been sick and a whole bunch of stuff going on. So, yeah. Also, there's a link down the doobly for our merch, which I don't have at hand. I was just using my pot holder. This is my favorite thing out there. I don't know if you can see it. I gotta get a light on it. It says, "Ow, fuck, it's hot." One of my favorite catchphrases because I do it all the time. Anyway, you don't have to buy anything. We're a small business. We very much appreciate it. And let's just get into the food. You don't want to hear anything else. It's YouTube. I have to do all that stuff, you know. But food, man, food. It's really good stuff. Alright, vegetable-based soup. This is a really good one. You're going to need some medium-sized red peppers. In Texas, I guess these are medium-sized. This is what we got. You're also going to need a sweet onion. This was labeled a sweet onion. I think it's just a white onion. You're going to need some fresh basil. You can buy this, or basil. And you're going to need some sugar. I buy the fresh basil everywhere I go. I love using those little fresh packets of stuff. I'm going to use 2 jalapenos because Texas, optional. You can leave those out. You're going to need some butter. It said 2 cloves of garlic. I just realized these are not cloves. It's a whole bulb. So I'm going to use some minced stuff just because I'm cheating and I don't want this video to be any longer than it's supposed to be. Wink. Going to need some tomato paste. This is not focusing properly. I apologize. And you're going to want some of these whole peeled tomatoes. You want the big ounce ones. They have some that already have basil in them, but I'm already had enough of that. You want some smoked paprika. That's blurry. I apologize. Salt. Trust me, that's salt. You can use the fresh stuff or kosher stuff. You can use the grinder, whatever. I'm just going to use the regular old iodized house salt and black pepper. It said fresh black pepper, but everybody wants fresh black pepper. You can get the cracker. You can use the dried stuff. That's fine. Going to want some vegetable broth. Only like a cup and a half, so not a lot of that. And a little bit. I think it's just like a third of a cup of our cream, like heavy whipping cream. Don't know why it fell out of my face because I was trying to read it in Spanish, I think. So first things first, we're going to wash all our fruit and vegetables here, and even the little basil stuff. The onion we're going to go ahead and skin, so don't worry about that, but let's clean all the rest of this, and then let's get the sharp knives out. So first thing we're going to do is jalapeno. Going to cut the end of it off here, then split it. Be careful. Be very, very careful with this. And then you want to devein it, de-seed it. Again, shout out to Andy who sharpens our knives over here, who's amazing with that kind of stuff. He always helps out. Big fan friend of the show, and I've known him since 2nd grade. Best friend in the world. His kids are my godkids. Shout out to them and his stepkids. They're all very, very cool. His wife, I don't know. We don't get to hang out very much, but she seems cool too. So go ahead and get your basil. Go ahead and strip it off your stems. Leave the stems out of this. You've cleaned these. They're going to be relatively wet, so you're already going to start smelling awesome right here. Best you can do is just kind of wad them up. Be very careful with your fingers and just run your knife through them just once or twice. Just cut them. You can leave them whole. That's up to you. I just think that's just way too much basil. I love it. I love the taste and the smell and stuff. And then nothing here. I just want to show off my new little plates. Dancing skeletons. Got a lot of cool new kitchen gear in Halloween time every year. So back to jalapenos because I got distracted by my ADHD brain and went to the basil first. So go ahead and just give these a rough chop. One way, line them up, go back the other way. Easy enough, right? I don't ever do a lot of fancy cutting. You know, shout out to Squire Mary who wants me to do fancier cutting and sends me her cooking and chef books and stuff. She's amazing. But yeah, I don't do a lot. So your peppers, just use your knife very carefully to kind of cut. I always just try to pull it out, and I end up ripping and tearing stuff up. So use your knife, pull that out. It'll pull the heart and most of the seeds out, and a lot of that vein, which is that thin white color stuff in the middle. And be careful if it has another heart or a little baby in there. Call him off. And just set that aside. You don't need or want that. But go ahead. I'll go ahead and split these along these, I guess, ventricles if they were a heart. There'd be 3 of them, I guess. I don't know. But just cut them into those. And then we're going to do those as a rough chop as well. Like I said, just cut them lengthwise. Then you're going to turn them the other way and then cut them widthwise. Easy enough. Bam. You don't want giant pieces. You don't want teeny tiny pieces. You don't want to spend all day at the cutting board. About that big is fine. Like I said, if you cook them, they're going to shrink up. They're going to get soft. It's going to be great. So just do that. Oh, we're watching Joe Blow go through the basket case movies today while we're cooking. That's giving us something to watch. I always have something to listen to while you're doing this other than just me, okay? I mean, I'm important when you're doing the recipe, but if you're just cooking by yourself or whatever, listen to something, watch something, whatever. Keep yourself entertained. Now you're going to cut your onion, same thing, split it in half and go across one way. If you're going top to bottom, just go straight. You're going the other way, you're going to lean your knife, and you're going to cut it at an angle as it's going across, and then straighten it up to the top, and then angle it out the other side. Makes it easier. So I don't have my big pot. I think I packed it up for my amp guard stuff, and I don't know if this would cook properly in my little one, so I'm going to throw it in a wok. Use a big pot or a big skillet or just a big pan. This will fit in that little pot I just had, but I want to cook it and kind of show you all, so I'm going to use this wok. Not mandatory. So you get this at about 6.5. You're going to take 4 of your tablespoons. It's always printed on the side, and I try to show you guys, but this camera just does not want to focus on that. So we're going to take 4 and just go ahead and put that in there. Break it up with a wooden spoon. Be sure to use a wooden spoon, or the ancestor is going to come get you. Go ahead and throw in your peppers and your onions. So go ahead and cook those. It's going to take anywhere between 8 and 10 minutes to kind of cook these down to where they're just getting soft. That's what we want. So it doesn't have to be a continual stirring. Just get it knocked around. Make sure your onions break up, because they're all in those little, pieces, right? They're all separated in the different layers, and when you cut them, they don't always break apart. So when you're cooking, be sure to do that. Okay. So like I said, give it a good stir. I'm sorry, my exhaust fan is busted. So like I said, just cook until it gets soft. It's going to take a little while. This is what it's going to sound like. This is what it's going to look like. So this has been about 10 minutes. I try to blow on it so you can kind of see what's going on there. No, go ahead and add your 2 cloves of garlic, or I'm just going to put 2 tablespoons. I just use garlic until the ancestor spirits grab my wrist and say enough. You want, again, 2 tablespoons of the tomato paste. Doesn't have to be even, doesn't have to be equal. That's the good thing about soup, is you can just kind of eyeball it, leave it a little high, that's fine. Just put it all in there. Just lump that in. Now it's going to get thick. Oh, and 1 teaspoon of your smoked paprika. I'm going to go ahead and put that on there too. See, I got cool little measurements and stuff. I got little cooking stuff. It's all just Halloween stuff, which is my year-round and our show stuff. So now's the time to go get that stuff. Throw that in there. Give it a nice stir. Start cooking that around. Give it about a minute with that in there. Like I said, it's going to get super thick. So just let it cook. Get it stirred. Let it get all over that stuff before you start putting all your other stuff in. Again, trying to, let it where you can see this over the steam, but we're cooking a lot of wet vegetables and a lot of butter, so it's going to smoke up like that, or steam up, sorry. Go ahead and add in your big group of your tomatoes. Now, the original recipe said to squish them with your spoon. They're not quite squishable yet, so I'll try, and it doesn't work. So we're just going to stir those in. It's going to start bringing that to, warming that up for about a minute or half minute, 2 minutes or so. That way you don't have to worry about the half minute. So go ahead and 2 minutes, get in there, make sure to get everything off the sides. I swear I go back and get everything on the sides. Go ahead and add the basil, your fresh basil in there, and then 1 teaspoon of your sugar, and then half a teaspoon of salt and pepper. Okay, you're gonna go ahead and put those in the top. Now the basil, I think the recipe said to add it later. I was not a fan of that. I wanted to cook in there and get that taste everywhere. I do use a little bit more when I dress it later, but I wanted to cook with the rest of the soup. So go ahead and get this in here. Get your dries mixed into those wets. Mash the tomatoes if you need to, or just get a knife or a pair of scissors and cut them up. It's supposed to be a chunky soup. It's supposed to have big pieces in it, but you don't want the whole damn tomatoes. So go ahead and break those down. It got really messy and I got really burnt, so I'm not going to worry about that. You want 1.5 cups of your vegetable broth. I only have my half cup. I don't know where my full cup went, so I'm just going to do this 3 times. That's why I'm showing you this. So that's 1.5 cups of the broth. It's going to be thick. It's going to be chunky. It's going to be good. Trust me. Don't worry about it being too soupy or not soupy enough. So give it a nice stir here. Then we're going to bring this to a boil now that we've got everything into it, okay? Everything except the cream, I believe, should be in it by now. So bring that to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to slow it down to a simmer. So here we go. And 3, 2, 1, and bubbling. All right, it's all boiling and stuff. And it smells amazing. And your neighbors will come knocking on the door like, what are you cooking? It smells good. So go ahead and turn it down to a simmer. All the way down to a 1 on a 9, where I did have it cooking at like a 6. This is, all the way down to a 1, and we're just going to cook it in there for 15, okay? So 1-5. Give it 15 minutes on a simmer, and then once we get that done, whoop, you see how that is? Like, oh, that's, man, it just looks good. Now get that heavy cream, and you only want 1/3 cup. Kind of put it in there and mix it. Now I know as soon as you put it in here, you're going to be like, oh no, I messed up my soup. It looks so horrible. Keep stirring. I did the same thing. I'm like, why did I put cream in that? That was a horrible idea. Oh, okay. And then you taste it, and it's even better. But yeah, it looks rough until you get it nice and stirred, and this is amazing. This is not even one of the ones that, oh, it looks gross until it doesn't. This just looks good the whole way through. Smells amazing. Tastes great. So yeah, you gotta try this one out, man. Again, I'm trying to summon autumn here in Texas to try to get this done, but this works so well. It makes so much soup. It filled that whole pot. It's gonna feed me at least 4 different meals, especially when you get to the secret. I mean, the other track on the thing and add the other stuff to it. You can kind of see them in the background of these pictures, but I didn't want to tell everybody about how cool this stuff was after the credits anyway. But yeah, this is good. It's a good thick tomato soup. It's got the peppers in it, even with the cream and the sugar. It calms down the jalapeno, so it works amazing. And there you have it, folks. That's an awesome tomato soup. It's mostly vegetables. Then you can leave the cream out, and it's just all vegetables, so you can fit it there. The cream, like I said, just a milk and dairy product. Some people don't do that. That's fine. I understand, but vegetarian as close as we can get, and then we added cream and screwed it up, so apologies. But that was amazing. If you do it differently, you want to see me do it differently, I know we've done tomato soup before. This is the red pepper stuff, so it is so good. And again, the jalapenos are optional, the onions. Shout out to my friend Cy and Mess. Y'all have allergies to onions, and I want to do some stuff without onions, but everything seems to be calling for it down here. It's one of the broke foods, man. It stretches everything, so I need to find something that will replace that so I can do some food stuff for you guys. But if y'all do it differently, you want to see me do it differently, let me know. I'll revisit it. We'll do it again. So I know a lot of people have allergies, not just my friends, but I'll do it for everybody. But let me know. Put it down in the comments. That's what they're there for. Or you can also find us on social media: Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. We're at all those at Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. We're also at Instagram at Live Between, kind of smaller. We had to shorten it down over there. Me, Osbury Nerdy, I'm on all of those, including over on Twitter. I refuse to call it X, and then on TikTok. But I'm generally just talking nerd stuff, painting miniatures, LARPing, D&D, books, that kind of stuff. But I'm willing to talk cooking too. I love cooking. That's why we do the show. Oh, also shout out to T-Villain. Just got my shirts in today, so I really want to wear this one. I love it. I want to wear it to the gym. Grr, sleeveless. Yeah. Not a sponsored video. Just love their stuff. I just think that's cool. So I will see y'all next time, y'all. Please enjoy the food and please be safe. Okay. So hey, you hung around. Now it's time for the secret track. Now this is totally inspired. I'm going to give you a small story on this one because it's a bonus. You got to listen to me ramble. I recently reacquired Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Now this is something I jammed out with in high school, whatever. But I had the tape. I didn't know that there was a secret track on the CD until I bought it now as a 44-year-old. So, yeah. So. Bonus secret track. Let's do the quesadillas. Let's do a chicken fajita quesadilla. It'll be nice and crispy. Works perfect. It's because we did the pepper and tomato soup. Why not do a Tex-Mex grilled cheese? Let's get into it. Secret quesadilla. All right, so you're gonna need some chicken. I got the boneless breast that's been flattened. You're gonna get some cheese. I like sharp cheddar and some flour tortillas. You're gonna want some of this butter. And then the fajita spice I got from HEB. Yeah, that's all we're going to need. That's what we're going to get into. So first things first, your boneless chicken is already deboned and flattened. So you just want to cut it into long, thin strips. Don't mind the rusty spots on my thing. I need to send this to the cleaver over to Andy to let him sharpen it. So you want to cut it just in little thin strips. Get you a decent sized skillet, usually about the size of your, your tortilla, whatever. Give it about a tablespoon of butter. Put it at about medium heat, 5 or 6. We're going to let that melt. While we're worrying about that, we're going to go ahead and cut our cheese into some little chunks here. I'm going to use about half of this on a quesadilla because I like to fuck it up with the cheese. So just give it some nice little cuts there. Again, once you get half of it done, just pull up the plastic, fold it over, put it in a Ziploc bag, and you're good until tomorrow when you need to use it tomorrow or pay the cheese tax, whatever. So go ahead and throw in your chicken in with that. Now you can season it beforehand, or you can just kind of lay it out and season it in the pan, which is generally what I do anyway. But you want to go ahead and season it and flip it and show the other side, right? It's easy enough. This stuff I found, and it is just absolutely amazing. I try to overdose on it, so that's a thing. So yeah, secret track. Like I was listening to Jagged Little Pill, like I did in high school. I used to listen to it when I was before football games to get pumped or whatever. Oh, so you kick the meat here. Be sure to put the meat on the middle, as we say in the show, and put that pink stuff down until it starts to brown around the edges a little bit, and all the pink stuff's gone, and you're good to go. So just pull that out. So once you get that down, get your cool little plates that everybody loves, dancing skeletons, pull that off. So yeah, same skillet, man. We're just going to go right in here. And same thing, we're going to add about half a tablespoon of butter here, just on this one side. Instead of buttering the tortilla, we're just going to put it in the thing and then put the tortilla on top of it. We're going to build it in the skillet while it's cooking. So get you some cheese down here. And remember, this is going to melt and run, so you don't want to put too much or it'll run out and you'll waste it. So just put it on here. Now layer it with them thin strips of that thin chicken. Put it across there. Blap, 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 right? Looks nice, looks good. If it's too big and it doesn't fit, just eat it. Nobody will ever judge it. Now put the cheese on top of it. Again, we're messing this up with the cheese. Just try to overdose it. Just take all the cheese. Put it on top, and then tortilla on top. Now, you want to kind of mash it. Don't want to get with your hand too much right now. Get you a spatula. I got a really cool bad spatula. Almost looks like, like a bad signal. Like, check it out. Like, you mash it down in there so the cheese melts and it sticks together. That's the whole point of a quesadilla. But yeah, check it out. Bad signal. Batman shows up, beats me up over my quesadilla. No, quesadilla man. This is Gotham. Whatever. That's my fault. I put out the bad signal. So get your spatula. Reach up underneath there. Preferably one without pointy ears, because I kind of ripped a hole in the bottom of it, but that's fine. So I'm going to add another little bit of butter, because you didn't butter the top of it, right? So just another half a teaspoon, half a tablespoon of butter. Put it in there and let it just keep cooking right there, and mash it down, and that melted cheese on top is going to melt down to the cheese that's melting on the bottom. Stick it in there. As soon as it browns, it doesn't take that long, about a minute, minute and a half, but you can always roll to flip it and check it, get it on another cool plate. See, Halloween plate too. How cool is that thing? Pull it off, cut it up, you're ready to go. So that's absolutely done. That is a simple chicken fajita quesadilla. I probably could have done that on TikTok as a lead-in, but I wanted to do a secret track with you guys after listening to Jagged Little Pill and catching the song after that one, because I was listening to it and I was like, and the tape, it just played and it stopped. I was listening to the CD, just let it run. I was like, man, this is really long dead silence before the next CD, and then the song played. I was like, holy crap. So yeah, found something new from my childhood that I didn't know was new. So yeah, quesadillas. So that bonus track, you're still here and you paid attention to after that guy, and through the whole bonus track you're really a fan, or you just weren't near your computer, or you couldn't find the next button on your phone. But we appreciate the true fans out there. We very much do. Anybody that looks this up, welcome to the fandom. It's a cooking show. It's not much of a fandom, but we enjoy the people that enjoy our stuff and send us whatever. So if the bonus track was worth anything to you, it was helpful, or it was just fun, like, just share this to some people, man. Yeah, subscribe, like, do all the YouTube-y stuff. Like, we very much appreciate it. Follow us on the social medias. You know how it is. Secret track over. I'll see y'all next time. Please be safe. I did lose power halfway through this one, so like half through the quesadillas, like the power went out for like an hour. So that's what. Catch y'all next time.